Good morning, Dual Coast fans. Welcome back to an exciting episode of Dual Coast Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Skoga, with my West Coast co-host over there, Russ Rogers, dressed in very bright green this morning.
Green, baby.
Over there.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you? What's going on?
Doing well, man. I'm excited about today, man. We have got an unbelievable guest coming on. I'll tell you, some fire and energy and passion that is going to be exuded today that people are just going to be gripped with, and powerful story about his family, about his health, and what he's doing. And he's excited to not only share with us, but get to the gym as soon as the show is over.
Get ready to train, man.
Yes.
Sweet.
Can't wait for him to share.
Yes. So, me and Russ have been coming on here with the guests and everything, and, like a little 2-minute promo. And I just want to reach out again and say thank you to everybody who listens to us live and everybody who listens to us recorded. And
grateful.
Just thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube and listening to our YouTube lives and our YouTube videos and our YouTube shorts. We really appreciate everybody supporting us. Again, we're founded Dual Coast Podcast on all our social media handles. We're founded Dual Coast Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. I'm going to add iHeartRadio pretty soon for Dual Coast Podcast, so you can listen to us on iHeartRadio. Easiest way to search us out on Instagram is just Dual Coast Podcast, as well as our website, dualcoastpodcast.com. You can listen to us on the bottom link. Also on our website has all the social media handles as well as the Spotify link. Easiest way to find us is probably just Google, and then just go from there, whatever your platform of liking is to listen. Russ, what do you got over there? Anything you want to add?
I would just say S&S, man. Subscribe and share. There are some amazing people that we have, on our show, on this podcast, and it's, it's the everyday people that are sharing their message. These are people that are in their communities. These are hardworking people. These are people who are going through or have gone through some specific challenges in their life. They have overcome. Maybe they're overcoming whatever it is. And again, today, our guest is going to share with passion about his story. And, each and every week, we just try to bring somebody that is going to share their heart, and whether, in health and wellness, in business and life and family, whatever it is. And so we just so grateful that subscribe and share about Dual Coast.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys again so much, Ross. That was great.
And we thank you.
We thank you all for listening. And no further ado.
Let's go.
No further ado.
Bring them on.
Welcome to the stage. Today's guest, super powerful, super well-spoken. Going to bring the heat right now. Bringing him to the stage, Bernard Q.
What's up, everybody? What's up? How are you?
How's it going, man?
There he is.
Good. It's so funny, though, because the introduction is so big that I almost wanted to be like, just really.
You're bringing the heat. I just said you're bringing the heat.
Bringing the fire with like a little lighter.
That would have been hilarious.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind, though. It's like, let's just do something completely opposite.
Yeah. Just mellow out this morning, Bernard. Just mellow out.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Be very solemn.
Rebel spirit.
That's
That's literally what it is. So
awesome.
Thank you, first and foremost, really. Thank you for having me on here. Thank you, not this Dan, but Big Dan, for the connection between me and Russ. And actually, that was a little bit confusing to me, because every time you told me that you were going to send it off to Dan, I thought you were meaning Dan. I was like, how does that work out? And then I finally put the two dots together, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. I appreciate Dan has sent several people our way, you being one of the latest, and you and I have been in contact most recently and have shared some really good conversation. And I am looking forward for that conversation to be enlightened today and to share with everybody, all of our listeners, future listeners, because your story is very impactful, not just about family, but about health, what you're doing. I mean, as you look the way you look, this is not always the way you've looked. And it's taken a lot of hard work, and we're going to get into that and everything. But we just appreciate you being here and to share with us your heart, your message, man, because it's powerful. You're powerful. And I know you're going to bring a lot of energy today in your message and the way you deliver. But let's talk about family first, man. Tell us a little bit about your family. Tell us a little bit about your immediate family. I know you said off air that you're going to work out with your family as soon as this is over. So just give us a little bit of family history.
So real quick, this is not one of those sponsorships kind of situations, but if you aren't a member of Lifetime, be a member of Lifetime. I swear it is such a wonderful, wonderful gym. And, I get to go there with my wife, and my kids get the kids care. And the beautiful thing about it is they're not putting them right in front of a screen. There's actually tons of things that they could do so that they could move their bodies physically, and then they could also draw and do some creative things. So I really like Lifetime in that. But yeah, so I have a gorgeous, amazing, beautiful wife that took me 6 months to get on a first date. And thank goodness I kept persisting, because now I got her, and she's amazing. We celebrated 13 years together in marriage on January 13th of this year. So
wonderful,
we're going
man.
on our
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And by the way, Dan's locking it down. Dan's locking it down in 2 weeks.
Less
than.
Woo-hoo, let's go. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Coming up.
No, I'm not laughing.
Serious face coming out of him.
No, seriously though, good luck and all of it, because it is absolutely going to be what you make of it.
I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So if you pour your all into it, man, let me tell you, it's amazing. And it's funny because, like, for example, I was a 14-year crystal meth and cocaine addict before we got married. She was a 8-year heroin addict and intravenous drug user, and both of us completely promiscuous, infidelity all over the board. Like, there was nothing holding us back from what we were doing, and there was no breaks from the directions that we were going, which was off a cliff most of the time. But with her and me coming together, it was like war. Absolute war. We didn't even know, outside of God putting us together, we had no clue why we even stayed together, because it was just constant fighting. I used to say we fought 8 days a week at first. And when we even got engaged, she was like, look, there's no way I'm going to say yes unless we go to therapy, unless we get help, because we fight constantly. And I was like, cool. So therapy helped us fight like 4 days instead of. But one thing I promised her, I was like, watch, our marriage is going to be amazing 10 years from now. 10 years from now. Yeah, not cool. Now, because it definitely wasn't. We brought so much baggage. And I'm not talking Louis Vuitton. I'm not talking Tony. I'm talking the real bad baggage. Like torn bags with a lot of our pain, a lot of our trauma, a lot of our damage. We brought that into our relationship, and God has helped us work through all of that. It's so much to the point where when we first met, we were like, no kids. Yeah. You no kids, me no kids, good. Because we were the black sheep in our family. So we were like, we don't want karma to hit us. And after 7 years of God changing the trajectory of our lives, it was like, oh, we can't just keep living this selfish lives. We were getting blessed and poured into in so many ways. And it was just like, we need to share this with someone or others. And it started with our kids. And now we have 2 amazing, wonderful kids. And let me tell you, they are so beautiful. I've got Araya, who's 8 years old, going on 35. Absolutely smart, super genius. Like, I can't even tell you, like, this girl, she understands empathy at a level that most adults won't, even by the time they die. And she's 8. And then she really helps out with my younger 5-year-old, who first started out as boy, just crazy. And I didn't know if I had a bad seed at first, because the stark differences between the two, I was almost nervous. but he's also stepped into who he is. And now we have a really phenomenal family dynamic where in my life, it's God first, me and my health, then my family, period, before anything even comes close.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Well said.
You know, the family trauma. I mean, the fact that you guys came together and, you know, you reached out to her and it took 6 months and for her to finally say yes, you know, to that, knowing that you guys had so much baggage. I mean, knowing that you were fighting 8 days a week, right? And like, how did you make that work? Like, you know, we talk about relationships. How did you make it work? Was it counseling? Was it God? Was it a combination? Was it you guys, you know, getting in and doing the grind? Did you guys have, you know, prayer times? I mean, give us a little bit more detail in
So
how you made that work.
it's definitely a combination of all of it, right? And now there are so much of it that are now part of our consistent daily actions. But if I started somebody off with, hey, do all of these at once, they'd probably look at me and be like, no, thank you. I'm done. I'm gone. But the thing is, it's just one step at a time. It's one obedient action at a time. It's one new thing that you learn, and be open-minded and open-hearted enough to actually do it. And that thing will create an improvement in your life or relationship, and you'll keep that if it works. If it doesn't, cool, let it go. But then try something else. And now we've got so many something else's that we've tried in our lives that have literally helped create this amazing foundation that we get to live from. And it's phenomenal. Like people, this is one thing I want everybody to understand though too. It's not like we don't fight. We definitely fight, but not each other. There's enough in this world that's going to come attack us. There's enough things that we're going to need to handle. The last thing we want to do is continuously fight each other. We finally got into a space where we know what her skills and capabilities are. We know what mine are. And instead of fighting about our differences, we are now giving each other the space to actually appreciate those. And you know what? It's funny, when you appreciate those, they end up shining so much more than what you wanted from them.
Yeah.
It ends up becoming so much more than you even expected. So no, there's just so many different things. One of the things that we do, for example, even before this podcast this morning, we were up at 5. Me and my wife spend about an hour to 2 hours every single morning. This is every single morning, just talking. And then we spend another 30 minutes in God's word for guidance. Because look, in that talking, I promise you, it's not like, hey, how's everything? Great. No, we're talking about everything that life's hitting us with. We're talking about parenting. We're talking about the stuff that we're going through with each other. We're talking about lack of connection here and there, or the connection that's here. We're talking about the things that land, don't land. And then we take it to God's word so that God could anchor us. And then the things that especially we don't agree with, we allow God to speak into it and make the decision for us.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
A lot of advice out there, people.
Yeah.
A lot of advice out there.
It's crazy. And I'm not trying to pour down advice. These are just all the different things that we've tried. And I'm just sharing all the stuff that has worked so far. And this is
beautiful,
one of
man.
them.
Yeah,
and then we get to go to the gym afterwards if we're not doing a podcast.
Yeah. Well, you're taking care of family, you're taking care of, you know, your relationship, you're taking care, you know, of your religion, you know, your God, you know, God first, that you're taking care of your body. I mean, you're doing it all at the start of your day. So
for sure.
I don't start
great words.
Yeah,
don't start till noon.
I don't start work till noon.
Wow.
Everything before that is family, God, and my kids and my health. And so here's the funniest thing. A lot of people want to start their workday super early, right? And try to get as much done in that full day. I promise you, with my preparation, I get more done in 3 hours than most people can in a full day.
I believe that. Yeah, I believe that for sure. I feel like with the communication thing too, that's huge because you also can work with a clear mind past noon because there's nothing else that's going on. Like as far as, you know, it's not on your conscience, not on your mind that, oh, I got to talk to my wife about this. I got to talk to so-and-so about this. You've already kind of cleared that path for yourself. So by noon, you kind of just focus on what you got to focus on, work-wise, whatever else it be. You got your health out of the way, you got your workout out of the way, you got your communication out of the way. Now it's focus time.
Exactly. Think of it this way. A distracted man works at the capacity of about 30%.
Yeah.
So if he's putting 9 hours, 30% of 9 hours is only 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
Unless you're Elon.
Right. Unless you, exactly. Well, no, look, there's always going to be, the anomaly.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. For most people, they don't even realize it, that they're so distracted by everything else and they are working at really low capacity.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I'm not working at 100% capacity. I'm actually working at like 130. The reason why is because there's this exponential energy that happens when me and my wife are fully connected, when me and my kids are fully connected, when I've had my workout, my energy shoots through the roof. I'm not working at 100% anymore. I'm not working at 130% capacity. And the miracles and outcomes that come from it are very evident that it's outside of me at that point.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
you talked, Bernard, you talked about being the black sheep of the family. Going through that as a child, kind of give us a little description of what it was like growing up in a family and how many brothers, sisters you have, and how you were labeled or you labeled yourself as a black sheep of the family and what that was like growing up.
well, definitely a little bit of both, right? Because and that's what happens. We get programmed or told a certain thing about us, and then we hold on to that identity and make it really part of us until it becomes so cemented that it makes it hard for us to break out of it. Because now this black sheep is the last sheep that was chased after, and now I've been found. So no longer the black sheep.
Yeah.
Right. But for so long, I was the black sheep because I was also the rebel. I was the one that didn't want to listen to anybody. I was the one that wanted to do all the things that, was outside of the norm. Like my sister, she grew up, she was a valedictorian at her high school and straight A student. I was not. The funniest thing is I'm smart enough to be, and it was very easy to actually be a straight A student for me.
Mm.
I just didn't want to do it because everybody was telling me to do it. So, like, I'm really good at math, literature, and English and all that stuff, but I did not want to do my homework because they told me to. I did not want to pay attention in class because they told me to. And so I dabbled in the arts and I dabbled into drugs, a lot of it. And that's pretty much what started the roadway for me being the black sheep, and then just continuing to do a lot of the stuff that I shouldn't have. Like I dealt drugs out of my parents' basement. At the same time, created an amazing music studio where I brought in so many different people, so many different cultures, and we made amazing music. However, I was always distracted by the drugs. I was always distracted by a whole mess of other things that weren't really leading me down the right path. Yeah. Like women and infidelity, for example.
Sure.
That kept me from being focused.
Yeah. Yeah. And did your parents keep you in the house, or did you move out early? Did you get kicked out? What was the family situation?
Ran away at 17, came back at 19. But no, my family loved me through it. And I think that's one of the key elements of the power that's been underneath all of this. Is because my dad loved me through it. My mom loved me through it, although she didn't know how to do it well in the beginning. She fought really hard to become a better mom. And by the time my baby brother, David, was born, she was absolutely great with him. We still had our issues because of all of our history. She spent a lot of time sending me the message that I was a fat piece of POS who was nothing more than a drug addict. But she was right, because I was spending my life that way. So it wasn't as though she didn't love me. She tried her best to love me in every way that she could, but she was strict. She was a grinder. And in all truth and reality, she ended up teaching me my level of grind that I have now. So she's the reason that I can grind at high capacity.
Wow. Yeah.
Thank God for parents.
Yeah.
Thank God for parents. Thank
Yeah.
God for parents who actually care to try to parent right, right?
Mhm.
Look, no parent's ever going to be perfect,
That's right.
but if they're willing to learn and grow and not bring on, like, one of the things that breaks my heart the most is our parents that will sit there and they know what they're doing is damaging their kids, but instead of going, hey, listen, how can I change that, they're sitting there making excuses on why they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know why you're still doing it. I need to know if you're willing to actually change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you are, let's have that conversation. But you trying to explain why to me over and over again, look, I get it. We could have that conversation once, because that's what it's needed so that I can have understanding. But that's all that's needed.
Yeah.
Second time you repeat it, you're just cementing it. Third time you repeat it, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Bernard, was there one day in particular that you said, I have to break this mold, I have to get out of this lifestyle? Like, is there something that came to you one day and was like, what am I doing? Or was it like just a compounding effect and you're like, I have to break this idea of myself, I have to get out of this, whatever I'm doing right now?
I wish it was one of those days that it was just like, da, da, da. No, it was 1,000 of those days. I can't tell you how many times. I mean, I even had one of the situations where I think I did a little over an ounce of Coke in a matter of 2 days. And, getting that chest where it was really tight. I think I'm going to die. Heart attacks coming. Made a deal, didn't know God yet. I was like, God, if you take this away from me, I swear I'm never going to do it again. And if you let me live through this, and he did, and I grabbed more Coke. And so, no, there was so many different areas where I had to get smacked in the face before it finally came to fruition.
Yeah.
And there were so many different areas with that. Everything from my obesity, everything from the drug addiction, everything from the infidelity, my addiction to porn, all these different factors that I had to surrender to become the best version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still more to go, right? Like, as beautiful as the life I get to live is now, and the fact that I get to live in purpose and on purpose is amazing. But there's so much to learn, especially with what God's putting in our path now. Like, this is a whole lot of new things for me.
Well, you're talking years of
Yeah.
We're
work.
talking 20 years of work.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is, guys, for anybody that's watching that's going, well, I don't want to put in 20 years worth of work. No. It becomes amazing the moment you make the decision.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you make the decision for change, that's when the amazing starts. It's been amazing for 20 years. It just keeps getting more and more amazing. So
Yeah.
don't think that it's going to take 20 years before it becomes amazing. No, make the decision. Start now.
Mm-hmm.
And watch how amazing life just keeps getting more and more so.
Yeah, we have a good friend, Karina Reed, here locally where I live. Who was born into drugs, and so she has been an overcomer for the last
Ooh.
20 years. And so the first 20 years were just embedded in that, right? And it's in her system, and so
Yeah.
she has spent the last 20 years. You mentioned 20. She spent the last 20 years going through that exact same thing. And it's just, hurdles. But, she is the number one trainer 8 years in a row for this area, and just changing lives, for people because of the life that she is committed to change for herself.
Oh, wow. That's Russ, you got to connect me with her. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I love like-minded, like-hearted, especially those that have walked similar fires. That sounds amazing. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So October 6th coming up will be a full 20 years sober for me.
Wow.
No single
Congratulations,
mess-ups, neither.
man.
Not one.
Amazing. Congrats.
Thank you.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Are you gonna do anything specifically to celebrate that 20?
I've celebrated every year.
Okay.
One of those things that I talk about, especially for recovery, is celebrate your wins. Celebrate each and every single one of your wins.
Mhm.
The reason why is because, like, look, the funniest thing is every time we complain or things come out of our mouth, we're literally celebrating our losses. We're honoring it. We're giving power to it. We're speaking on it. Why? Let's celebrate our wins, continuously talk about our wins, and not in a sense of ego, but in a sense of gratitude. There's a huge difference between the two, right? If you talk about your wins and ego, it's really ugly, and most people don't really want to keep hearing you talk. The funny thing is, if you talk about your wins through the gratitude that you feel from it, man, that energy is so connective with other people. And so, yeah, talk about your wins, celebrate them. And yes, we're definitely going to do something on October 6th to celebrate 20 years. That's 2 decades of freedom.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
That's great, man.
I have no clue what we're doing, though. That's
Well,
one thing
we
I've
celebrate
also
with you,
noticed in
man.
my life.
We celebrate with you. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Congratulations on that.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
Been a lot of hard work, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start to gain weight? When did you start to, increase your body size and become fat? Were you a kid? Were you
I
an
was
adult?
a fat baby.
You were a fat baby. Okay.
I was fat baby. Like, no joke, fat baby. So we co-owned a restaurant in the Philippines where we lived, and literally there's stories of me walking up to all the people's tables at 3 and just walking up to them, chubby wubby little bloop, 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 and then going and getting fed by all the customers. And they thought it was the cutest thing in the world. Thank you. It was not cute. I ended up fat until I was 45. I'm 48 now.
My goodness.
Wow.
So
yeah.
No, so from 3 to 45. Now, did I go up and down in weight? Yes, I tried hundreds of diets. I tried so many different things to get my weight down, but unfortunately, one of my bosses, a great friend of mine, his name is Jeff Baca. I worked with him for like 17 years. Amazing man. He called me an accordion because he literally saw me go, woo, woo, woo. And it was like, man, and I could not keep the weight off until I discovered peptides.
Yeah.
Wow.
My next shirt is literally going to say Jesus plus peptides. They both saved me.
Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
so peptides have been phenomenal. I've been doing a lot of work. I've been doing a lot of the diets. I've been hitting the gym and working out and getting to a place where, I wasn't fat anymore per se.
Sure.
But I was not what I ever wanted to become.
Yeah.
Right? I was not an optimal part, and I couldn't achieve it. I tried. And if I did achieve it, it was for a short stint of time. That's the whole accordion effect. And then it blew up. There was definitely things that happened in my body that the signaling was off. And whether it was all the drugs, whether it was all the different things, whether it's all the messages that I've held on to about being the fat kid. I mean, in 8th grade, I was called Barnyard, not Bernard, Barnyard. And the reasoning behind that was because I was too big to be just one of the animals. So, yeah, it's still funny. It is funny, Russ. I mean,
I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in.
I've got in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a front shell. That's not cool.
That's
No, it's not cool.
I want to be a Ninja Turtle, but like the Ninja Turtle, not the front shell turtle.
The real Ninja Turtle.
So I got it
man.
all throughout my life. And then now, I'm ranked the top 3 fittest in the room of mostly every room I walk to. Although I did just go to this thing called Men's Alliance, and oh my gosh. Humbled. Absolutely humbled. Yeah, there are definitely more elites everywhere. Right? Like, so doesn't matter what, but I'm so grateful and so happy with where peptides have been able to take my body to the next level, because I couldn't achieve this. And this is actually more than I ever even thought or imagined I could ever achieve. Right.
That's
I've always had vision boards, but I've never had a vision board of what my body could look like because I never actually believed that it could look like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm just in a state of gratitude with it, and I enjoy it. I absolutely enjoy it. And I'm really happy that I have one gorgeous woman that I could share this with, as opposed to trying to live this for the significance of other people's validation.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
That's great.
Very well said. Very well said. Bernard, I want to touch on something that you kind of focus on a bit and you talk about a bit, and that's men's vulnerability. Because I feel like that's something that's, I don't want to say overlooked, but I feel like it's something that's not discussed enough.
No.
I want to ask you a question. I want to pose this question to you. Why do you think men feel so comfortable in saying, I've got it all the time, when internally they don't really have it?
Programming. Bad programming. We've been told to be tough.
Yeah.
We've been told to be tough, or else we're the PUSSY.
Yeah.
You know what? But here's the funniest thing, and I realized this, like true vulnerability, where you're literally taking the sword, cutting yourself up, and letting it spill, is the greatest strength of it all. Because this ego is your biggest battle.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't beat this, you're actually the weakest version of you.
Yeah.
Your greatest, strongest version of you isn't the muscles. It isn't how many people you could beat up. It's how many times you could beat this.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's been a tough road because, man, like I always wanted to portray the best version of me, and it wasn't until I actually just poured it all out that I became the best version of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I saw a really awesome post yesterday that was like, if your son became exactly like you are today, would you be happy? And for the first time in my life, I was like, hell yes. Hell yes. Do you realize I get to spend time like we're talking lots of time, not rushed time where it's like, no, I have to go. I'm talking just present time, just holding my son, and he will sit there and trail his fingers on my muscles and my veins, and just with his hands, his tiny little palms. And I can't even tell you what that feels like, because you can't really describe that kind of sensation, to know that my son looks at me that way and is like, I have a very powerful dad. And it's unreal, and one that he could cuddle into all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. The vulnerability
Very cool feeling.
is the biggest superpower. Yeah. Nothing compares. I promise you, nothing compares. Not the nice cars, had them. Not the nice house, have it. None of that. Promise you. It's not that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Powerful. Yeah. So you've kind of taken us through, your life, your ups, your downs, through drugs, obesity, and working through yourself in the last 3 years of reforming yourself, transforming yourself into who you are today, getting in the gym, working out hard, taking the peptides, your whole family's going in there. You're the leader of your home. Life is going good, right? But tragedy hits.
Yeah.
Tragedy hits this year.
The worst of the worst.
Yeah. And I would just love for you to share with our listeners how that came about, how you responded, how you got the news, and what's been happening, since this tragedy.
So, okay. So now we're going to shift gears, because this is the part where it's like, this is the craziest thing, because with everything that has gone so amazingly in my life, I would probably trade all of it back. Other than my wife and my kids, I would probably give all of it back.
Yeah.
For one more day with my brother. One day. Because I'll do this all over again. I'll go through this all over again. I'll go through the last 20 years of recovery, of having to go through the wars all over again for one day back with my brother. Unfortunately, on May 18th, which doubles as my son's birthday, my son's birthday. My brother lost his battle to depression and hung himself. You got to understand, my brother is probably the nicest person in the whole world that I've ever known. And it's not just a sentiment that comes from me. It comes from thousands of people here in this area that have been around him. And for him to lose this battle makes no sense. Can't tell you how many times I've thought, it should have been me. It should have been me. And mental illness is a disease that runs in my family, not just me, not just my sister, not just my other brother, but ultimately my baby brother. And the craziest thing is, out of all of us, he was the least likely candidate. He was the one that, if you were to put us in a lineup, no way him. Like we were even just looking at, we were just even talking about some of the memories, right? Like me, my sisters, and my brothers, like David was the favorite. Also note the trajectory of my mom. My mom in the beginning loved us, but sucked as a mom. By the time it came to my baby brother, she was amazing. She did all the work. She did all the work that I've done in the last 20 years. She did all of that, all the reading, all the studying, all the praying, all of it. And she became such an amazing mom by the time David came. And so with that being said, David had the best of it. He was also my mom's favorite. But here's the funniest thing. Was I jealous that he was mom's favorite? Was my sister jealous? Was my other brother jealous? No. You want to know why? He was also our favorite. There was like no question about it. He was the favorite. I mean, I stole his PlayStation and sold it for drugs. He had this coin collection that he was really, really proud of. It's one of those things where you put all the coins and it separates it, and then you put them in little packages. About $400 worth of coins. And I stole that so that I could buy drugs. And his response to it was, my big brother needed it. Please be mad at me. Don't do that. Like, that hurt more. Like, you would expect him to be like flipping out, my brother's a piece of shit. How the hell could he do? Nope. Never hit me with that. I kind of wish he did, though, like, if you really think about it, right? Because that other thing hurts more, especially now.
Yeah.
Especially now. Also, me and my other brother and sister, we fight a lot. David, we don't ever fight with. Why? Because David's just the sweetest kid. You just don't fight with David. Like, and he doesn't care to fight. So whenever we would have Zoom calls and meetings and the rest of us would get into a fight, he would be the first one that out of nowhere, this is what he would do. He would change the filter. You know how you could change the filter? And the next thing you know, be a shark in the middle of the and then just smile. Won't say nothing, won't yell at us, won't be like, stop it, nothing. Just do something like that and then totally create a pattern interrupt for whatever we were going through. And we'd all just be laughing. That was him. So now that'd be awesome if that was just him to his family. Apparently that was David to this whole community. He started out as a server at Cheesecake Factory. And he did that for many years and then became a bartender and became one of the most famous bartenders here in the Jersey Shore. And even if he wasn't the most famous, he was definitely the most loved because of the way he made people feel seen and the way that he always showed up for other people. I've gotten so many stories from so many people about how he would always show up no matter what. There was one time where I met somebody who was like, yeah, you know, you send David the invite for the wedding, but the chances of him being able to come, especially since he had a full night of work, was probably not going to be realistic, especially since the next day he had a full day of work, et cetera, right? And they were like, it was 2 hours away. There's no way he's coming. But you send him the invite because there's no way you don't invite him. Anyway, he showed up for 15 minutes and then left to go to work.
Mm.
And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, hell no. 4 hours of driving for 15 minutes, that doesn't calculate. That doesn't math for me. I'll just send you a really nice present. But apparently, David knew the amount of impact that presence and intention actually had.
Yeah.
Not just that, David actually spoiled people with gifts too. So they got both, right? Like David didn't just throw money at it. He actually threw himself into it. And that was huge and so different in the person that he was. And I thought that was okay, another one-off.
Mm.
But since I've been here for the last 2 months, I've heard dozens and dozens of stories like this. One time where there was a girl that always celebrated her birthday. He always showed up for her birthday. And this one time, she was like, we're doing it in Orlando at Universal Studios. We get it. You're definitely not going to be able to come. You got to work the whole weekend. And he showed up and was like, we've got 5 hours. Let's party. And then flew back and literally went straight to work.
Wow.
Like, who does that? Like, that doesn't calculate. And then another one is, well, my brother was definitely the good-looking, super chiseled. He has a 8-pack. Everything. Like, we're talking full-blown, like, physical elite specimen, right? And note, through that, never made fun of me, ever. So I just want to note that, right? But on top of that, he had women in droves. We're talking like people showing up. I heard stories that he would come home and there would be one in his bathtub waiting for him. This is like the kind of lifestyle that he got to live as the famous bartender down the shore. But we're talking hundreds of women and not one of them hate him. That doesn't make sense. Not one.
Mm.
Because he never lied about his situation. He never lied about, it's a one-on-one situation. He never made any stories of that. But he also still just always made them feel loved and seen for who they were. And I come to find out that, there's people that he dated 12 years ago that he apparently still checked on to this day to see how they were doing, how their marriage was going, how their kids were, how their schooling was, what their businesses were. And I don't even understand how you do that. And it was to the point where over 2,700 people showed up for his memorial.
Mm.
Wow.
And not for his successes. Nobody talked about his successes. All they talked about was how much they felt loved and how much they loved him and how big of an impact this was to lose him.
Mm.
And so for me, specifically, the hardest part about it is I've been gone for 20 years. I had to. I left Jersey 20 years ago to take care of me, or else I would have died here. And unfortunately, that means I've probably spent 50 to 60 days total in the last 20 years with my baby brother.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've had lots of phone calls. We've had very intentional visits where he would come out and see me. I would come out here and we would definitely see each other. But other than that, we thought we had a lifetime left. There was no part of me that thought, hey, he'd be done at all. He has multiple businesses. I've designed all the logos for his businesses. And so we've talked a lot about his businesses. We've talked a lot about his life. We talked a lot about his relationship, and he really enjoyed the fact that I had a really great one, just didn't know how to ever encompass one for himself, considering settling down was not really part of his life path.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, with all that being said, losing him was probably, well, not even probably. It is definitely the most painful thing I have ever experienced in my life. By thousands. You could take everything that I went through in the last 40 years of my life plus, put them all in a box together, and they wouldn't compete with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still trying to figure out how to handle that. I'm still trying to figure out how to manage it. I'm just grateful for the last 20 years of work that has prepared me to be able to walk through this in probably the most powerful, productive, positive, life-giving way. Because if I didn't go through all that 20 years of work, I swear I'd be hurting so many people right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely be playing on the other team.
Well, through all of that, the pain, the sorrow that you have experienced, your family coming together, you know, you're not just sitting there doing nothing about it. You're doing something with his life.
No.
Right.
And can you share with everybody what you've been doing since then, since his loss?
So what I've been doing is responding to and fielding to the call that's actually happening. This is not something that I built or created. This was something that was building in front of me and I had to steward. So this is backwards. In the last 3 years, I partnered up with the Final Percent and built masterminds, started coaching, spent a lot of money investing into learning how to do it as a business, and then started getting really good at it, charging really high ticket for coaching clients. And then this happened. And the craziest part about it was I actually got to spend 4 days with my brother before this happened. And so the guilt and the anger, oh my goodness, of wait a second, you coach people and you couldn't help your own brother, started creeping in. Thank goodness God had a way of working me through that, because if it wasn't for the fact that God literally told me that he called him home, I probably still would have went dark.
Mm.
But in the midst of it, God told me that he called him home and there's going to be a much bigger purpose behind his life for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those things is he left a gaping hole. It needs to be filled with hope. And if this catalyst didn't happen, none of this would exist.
Yeah.
So here's the craziest part. With him being gone, right? Like, I it's crazy, but so many people started reaching out to me. So many people started wanting to do something different because of the love that he showed so many others. There are so many miracles that have happened since then that don't even make sense on how things have come together. One, 2,700 people showing up for this memorial. All the love that was actually there. They told me that there was no incidents that night. And this is at a bar. There was no incidents. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely crazy. So with that being said, it's just been one of those things that we've been building. And one of the messages that I actually want to get across, okay, is that mental illness exists. And it is not one of those things where he chose to take his life. We need to understand this. When mental illness exists, it literally affects the part of your brain that makes cognitive decisions. He did not make a cognitive choice to end his life. The prefrontal cortex, where those decisions are made, no longer worked and no longer functioned. And the kid did not stop fighting till the end. I mean, he ran a 5K 2 days before this happened. He worked the night before. He worked the Friday before. He spent 4 days with me and my family trying to be as present as he possibly could be. That whole time, smiling with my kids, you know, holding my kids, playing with my kids. Unfortunately, he was averaging about an hour and a half of sleep every night.
Mm.
That doesn't work well for anyone's brain. I don't care who you are. And then to run a 5K and do 12-hour shifts, that doesn't work for anybody, period. And unfortunately, his amygdala got the best of him. You only have fight, flight, or freeze. He didn't want to hurt anybody, so there wasn't any other fight. He didn't freeze because he always kept moving. The only thing he had left was flight, and that was escape. And his amygdala, without the capacity of his prefrontal cortex helping him make proper decisions, told him escape was the only way to find survival. So does it make logical sense? No, but he didn't operate from logic anymore. So this is the power of mental illness, and this is how painful it could be. But for a lot of people that are like, you know, wishing they could have done something different, or they could have changed it, or walking through that shame and guilt, I promise you it's not something that you can control. If it is too late, it is too late. The conversations we need to start having now is, let us start taking actions before this gets damaged to that extent.
Yep.
And there are things that we can do now to prevent this. But there is a past point where this no longer functions. And once that happens, it is past the point of any return. So what we've built since then is using his initials, David Quisumbing, the DQ that he's really known by, you know what I mean? He's got a bar, DQ's bar, and everything like that that everybody talks about. The DQ is now don't quit. Don't quit working on yourself. Don't quit on your marriages. Don't quit on your family. Don't quit on your kids. Don't quit on your parenting. Don't quit on the people that God has put into your life. Don't quit. And with that being said, the foundation is going to be a nonprofit organization that's going to provide resources for organizations that are already supporting mental illness, that are already supporting other people, that are already providing hope, help, and healing to others.
That's wonderful.
And what I want to do is raise awareness for that, bring people together, start having the conversations, create the communities, and build a functioning organization that's really going to spread this in a powerful way. You know, and me, I'm going to show up, do the podcasts, travel around the world, have the conversations, speak about it, share about it. And then in the funding and the fundraising, we're going to kick it out to all of the wonderful, or there's so many organizations out there doing so many wonderful things. Unfortunately, most of them don't have the funding for it.
Right.
So, but like yesterday, we did one of our first events, and it started off slow, you know, with a steady stream of people coming in, and then it ended up where we couldn't even park any more cars. And it was amazing. Yeah, it was an amazing event. And so, yeah, and then there's also this place called the Well of Jesus that we go to, that we started going to, me and my wife and my kids, because we needed a place to get fed while we were out here. And man, it was just so amazing that we started inviting so many people to it, and people have been coming, and they've already done such amazing work for people and helping them and their transformations, that they are literally the first group that we are providing resources for from the foundation, because the foundation's already having so many people donate money to. Just one, from the love that they had for Dave, and now from the message that we're carrying.
Wow.
Beautiful. I love the fact that you're taking tragedy and turning it into purpose.
Right.
That you're being purposeful with the passing and the loss of your brother. You're being purposeful because of all of the people that are out there in this world that are struggling exactly like your brother struggled. And the organizations that are out there, you are starting your nonprofit to help him, the DQ. And I think those two simple words are very powerful for people, and often maybe overlooked.
Yeah.
But DQ, man, don't quit. And I love that you've taken it to a purpose, and it's just the beginning. And you're going to, your family, the people that are involved, are going to help so many that are out there that are struggling today.
Yeah, it's insane. The mission has changed so drastically because, like, for example, here's two of the things that have really, really shifted in all of this. Is one, I am now in full surrender for whatever God's calling me to do, as opposed to what I wanted to build. I had my own missions and purposes, and I wanted to build my own empire. I wanted to build my own masterminds. I wanted to build my whole big community, all of these different things. And then all of a sudden realized I was always falling short. And why? Well, it was because my purpose was never something greater than me. And for the first time, this is something greater than me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's powerful. It's powerful. This has been an amazing podcast, Bernard, like incredible, powerful, informational. I think people got a lot out of this today. There's a lot of people listening on Instagram right now as I'm looking at the live stream. Bernard, where can people find the Don't Quit Legacy? What's the best way to seek that out?
So 2 areas. One is under mine, which is at Bernard Quisumbing, which is really, if you type in Bernard and then QUI, it should finish the rest for you for me. But it's BernardQuisumbing. Good luck. That's why we go by Bernard Q. It's so much easier.
Bernard Q, baby.
And then the other one, which is really easy, is the Don't Quit Legacy, at Don't Quit Legacy.
Awesome. Amazing podcast today. Bernard, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
This has
been powerful.
And thank you so much for sharing your story. And, we got into men's vulnerability before. Thank you so much for being vulnerable with everybody and, speaking about
Thank you.
getting into it. And we really appreciate your time this morning. This has been an amazing show. Please check out Bernard Q, guys, on Instagram, or Bernard Quisumbing. Am I saying that right?
Good job. Good job.
It took me an hour to figure it out, but I got it.
He's Filipino. Honorary Filipino now.
That's awesome.
Please check out the Don't Quit Legacy. Again, guys, thank you everybody so much for listening. Please check us out on all our social media handles, the Dual Coast Podcast. Please check out Bernard at all his social media handles and the Don't Quit Legacy. Again, we thank you guys so much for listening this week. We'll see everybody next week. Bernard, thank you again.
Thank you, Bernard. Appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your heart today.
You're very welcome. God bless everybody.
Take care, guys. We'll see everybody next week.
Peace.